Still recuperating. All right. It is Sunday night. It is 7:30-ish. That means that we have another edition in store live in the man cave. Happy Sunday to everybody. We got the All-State coach. I am Coach Barnes. We are Polk Hoops, 2 of the 3. Welcome to another episode of the Man Cave. Appreciate you all rocking with us, tapping in. What's going on with you, Coach?
Happy Sunday, Coach.
Hey, happy Sunday, man. One more out the way. So, got a good show for you tonight. Hopefully, we think we do. So, we want to go ahead and get started. We don't have the PG, the All-State PG right now. So, we're going to just, instead of swinging it to the right, we're already up left. We're going to swing it to the left. Coach, I don't know if you got anything in the corner or not. If you do, you got it. If not, we'll keep pushing.
Man, Coach, I'm just want to share what I've been seeing on social media, man. It just seemed like everybody's been looking forward to the girls, NCAA championship, man. I've been hearing more about that than the boys, man. Have that ever happened before that you have this type of excitement and following with girls basketball?
Coach, I've never seen it, and I'm, for one, today, like I just tell you right before we jumped on, today was the first time this year that I've watched a girls' game from start to finish, and I was so amazed and impressed. I'm like, wow. But then, like I told you, so that's the first game I don't watch. Now you got my expectation level through the roof. And all the stars leaving, because I think this is the first time in history that we've had more star power on the girls' side, and it's long overdue, than the boys' side. Like, you don't hear about stars, and we talk about an NCAA tournament that's about to end. The Final Four start tomorrow. I mean, the championship is tomorrow. Who's a star? I mean, we know some of the, top players. But are they stars? Like, I don't know if there's even a star on the men's side in this year's tournament.
No. The only thing that's close is the guy from Purdue that's been 2-time player of the year. And last time that happened was Ralph Sampson. You know what I'm saying? That's a while ago.
Even with him, Coach, probably the most notable boy player was Burns from NC State.
Yes.
He probably the most notable, but on the girls' side, man, you just keep using fingers. Like, I don't know, that game today was amazing. I mean, the energy, how hard they play. I mean, I was very, very.
I will say one thing that stuck out at the end of the game is Dawn Staley giving praise to her assistant that did the scout for the championship game. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, last year I felt she got out coached by Iowa. I didn't feel that they was very prepared for that game last year. But this year you can totally see the difference in the game plan, the poise in her when they went down 10-0. I'm sitting up there saying, hey, you should call timeout, and she let them play through it. You know what I'm saying? That's a sign that she knows her team. She has a lot of confidence in her team, and I'm very impressed at the coaching job that her and her staff did this year. And because, like I said, last year I think they got out coached, but it's amazing that first she gave praise to God, and then she started raving about her assistant coach and the scout that he did for this game.
Coach, and the thing on it is, I saw her do a couple interviews. Coach, she don't never take credit. She always giving somebody else credit. She always pouring into somebody else. And even in her post-game interview, when the players come up and put the chain on her neck, how she, I was speaking with a couple guys off the air, how they was how they just she allowed them to be themselves. And that take a lot of confidence, I think, as a coach, to allow your players to be who they are, because that might not just with who you are as a coach and what you're trying to do. That means that as a coach, you got to be able to adjust to your kids as opposed to them adjusting to you. And I think just listening to her, listen to her coaches, the players, that's what she does a great job of. And them kids, like, they just go out and they play so hard for her coach. But it's like you said, for her to give first credit to that assistant coach, who we know now is probably going to have a head coaching job probably by next year, probably by next week, because now everybody like, okay, who in the world is that? Yeah. And can you bring that to us? At least if I was an AD somewhere, that's what I'd be thinking. You know, when you that good, coach, you undefeated 30-0, the chance that you're going to end up with that same staff next year probably is slim to none, right? Yeah. So, but like you say, coach, when they went down, when they went down 11-12-0, and she didn't even move off the bench, coach. She didn't flip. She didn't jump up. She was just like, I'm sitting there like you. I'm like, we gonna call a timeout. We gonna stop the bleed. Like she ain't flinch. And that's just supreme confidence in her players, which I think you got to kind of check yourself a little bit as a coach in order to have that kind of confidence. Mm-hmm. And coaching, the fact that it's a brand new team, well, at least she graduated all her starting five. For her to be able to have that type of confidence, I was very impressed. It was extremely impressive.
Yeah.
38-0 bench points. Did you see that stat?
Yeah, I did. Because it was 26-0 at halftime.
38-0.
And that's what most of the freshmen are. They're coming off the bench. We talk about 5-star freshmen from last year, McDonald's All-American. You know what I'm saying? To be humble enough, like, hey, it's the team over me, and I got confidence in my head coach that she know what she's doing. And boy, she got them to buy in, coach. Like you said, this is graduating 5 starters and coming out and going undefeated. And
coach, and the way they was looking, like you said with them freshmen, the way they was looking for them, like you said, they were looking for that Johnson girl in trench. They were looking for them, like shoot the ball, almost like if you don't shoot, you coming out type stuff. So even that confidence, like the girl said, I just got, even though I'm making a mistake, the freshman, I got confidence in my teammate got so much confidence in me. I don't care. Like I don't care. I don't care about, I'm not afraid of the moment because of how much confidence they got in each other. Coaches, male or women, could take a huge page out of Staley book. Now, will they? I don't know. But boy, how she put that together, I'm still like, wow. Extremely
in today's time, what she did was extraordinary, and I'm hoping she's able to keep it up where she'll be mentioned in the same breath as Gino and Pat Summitt.
She definitely is on track. Well, Cole, before we go any further, you always on here giving flowers. You always on here, shouting people out, and that's your character. That's the type of guy you are. But want to give you and your family some well-deserved flowers. Coach, last night I saw the ceremony this morning. I sat there and watched all of the 38 minutes that O'Shea recorded it. Because out of respect, I watched all of it. But, Coach, congratulations to you, O'Shea, your dad, your mom, everybody, man. That was a nice ceremony, well-deserved. So, want to make sure and give you your flowers. You get speak on it, man. But it was very nice last night.
Coach, it was a big night for our family, for them to honor my brother in the Lake West Hall of Fame. It was a stacked Hall of Fame lineup. My brother was part of that lineup. We just happy that he'll be immortalized in the Lake West Hall of Fame, and nobody can take that away from him. We also found out they will be retiring his jersey. It'll be the Lake Wells Bartow game December 18th in Lake Wells, so we'll be, gearing up for that too.
Okay, nothing like a rivalry game to kind of get a little bit of the
coach.
why not get the toe? Who else
That's what I asked for. Hey, when we playing boy at home.
Yeah, come on, man. What? That don't even make no sense otherwise. So, hey, man, but just want to make sure, because I know you ain't going to speak on it, but want to make sure and just say congrats to you. You and the family, man. I thought you did a great job speaking. I know it couldn't have been easy, but I know you was proud, but I know it was tough. But, hey, man, congratulations to all y'all, man. We very happy and proud. Can't wait to reward our first recipient for the
Definitely.
Are we going to call it Darryl Washington or George Washington?
It'll be
whatever you decide to call it, or the general, however you decide to call it, whoever you decide, scholarship, first one from Polk Coots, first in minutes. So can't wait to reward.
Can't wait. Coach was very excited about that. So we're just looking for, everybody to support our events in the future. Just know some young man or some young lady is going to be rewarded, every year from us. So
good deal. Well, hey, man, we know if the season is over, unfortunately. So the other season that is very important has started, and that's travel ball. So we figured we'll do it. We'll spend a little time, have a couple of our top travel ball coaches, authorities. I know that's not a word, guys. That kind of been doing it for a while, doing it at a high level, just to have a conversation about travel ball, about their organizations, and just overall. So without further ado, we got 3 of the guys. We invited 5. All 5 said okay. 3 of them are here right now. So in the interest of time, we want to make sure that we kind of respect them. So right now, we're about to bring into the studio Coach Anthony Jones from Davenport. We're going to bring Coach Grady Burrell from Weber. Sorry, Coach. And Coach Eric Robinson from Arbondale into the studio. So welcome, coaches. Thank y'all for taking a little bit of time out your busy schedule to tap in with us this evening. Good evening. How y'all doing, fellas?
All right, Coach. How y'all?
Hey, man, we blessed, highly favored, and we ain't going to complain about it, even if it's something to complain about, because we still here. So,
yes, sir.
We already winning. So how we going to do it? We're going to give each one of you all a chance to kind of introduce yourself, talk about your organization, whatever you want to talk about, just kind of an intro, and then we'll kind of jump into it, all right? So however y'all want to go, Coach Jones with the black screen already, that's how they do things at East Polk, I guess. Coach Robinson, Coach Morrell, either one of y'all want to get started, just a quick introduction about yourself. I feel like you can introduce yourself better than me. And we know Coach Robinson been in Coach Jones and Coach Morrell, staples in Polk County basketball, high school, college, travel ball, nothing, so we're excited about what you guys got for us. So I'll be quiet, take a sip, and let y'all kind of introduce yourself.
They can all go before me because I'm the oldest. Beauty before age. They're all pretty. They're young and pretty.
Coach Robinson literally got off the road because Coach, I don't even know when you take a break. It's like literally you go from Arbondale hot sideline to T-Mac, and it's amazing that you've been able to do it at the level you've done it at for as long as you've done it at. You've done it. So once again, as we get hours, shout out to you, man, just for all you do for kids, for youth. I know you had a real tough season this year, man, but just your perseverance with your squad, man. We just always want to let you know how proud we are. We're here at Polk Coop. So tell us a little bit about Team T-Mac.
Yeah, Coach, thank you guys for having us. As you mentioned, this year was kind of rough. So for me, it's kind of pushing the issue to hurry up and get back out. We took a little break, but a lot of the guys that are on our team, T-Mac, play with Arbondale. It really worked out well because Coach Ambo came on with me this year, and he's coaching the 17 and under team, which about half of the kids on that team are his guys, and then the 16 and under team, which is a combination of a 9th grade and a 10th grade team, and the 17 is a combination of 10th grade and 11th grade. It's worked out pretty good where most of the kids, just about all of the kids that are on the 15 and 16 are my guys, and the 16, 17s are his guys, so it worked out really well. So far, we participated in 2 tournaments, and for us, really with everything we went through last year and struggling pretty good, we just felt like it was time for us to get our guys together, young guys that we have. We had 6 sophomores this year, so felt like it was really good for us to get together and start doing some things together, and just trying to keep the majority of the guys together, and just playing in games, playing in tournaments, and just trying to work on some things. It's been really good so far. Makes practice a little bit easier with having most of the guys, right there locally. So you don't have too many guys missing practice, stuff like that. But that's really the hard part with travel ball, just getting everybody in the building, getting everybody there at the same time to be able to go stuff. Everybody gonna show up on the weekend when you got games. Everybody shows up then. But there's always one reason or another why guys can't make practice. So but like I say, just having our guys, just about all our guys together, it's made practices pretty fun and pretty competitive.
Okay. Coach Morrell, anything you want to tap in with before we feel honored to be able to get you on the show, man. So appreciate you. Appreciate all the work that you do at the high school, college level. But
I appreciate you guys, man, and congratulations to Billy D, man. You guys do good, man. I think every organization, Eric and I did a thing last year, and it was just different. And we struggled through it, but we made it through, and we still got a thing. But our organization is built. I'm big into not chasing offers, but chasing development. And Eric is very similar to that. And both him and Coach Jones, they do the same thing, trying to develop their guys. Ours is a little bit more global. We get some guys from the villages. We take guys from McKeel, Santa Fe. We did the Auburndale thing last year. And we try to get the practices in, and they're kind of individual. And we kind of make it like a college environment, to be honest with you. My coaches, only coaches that coach for me, they either play college or played overseas, or high school coaches, because I'm the one that vets them. I'm really not the face of the Spartans, kind of not. I'm in the background. I don't coach anymore. But if you guys know me from 20 years ago, I started the Lakeland Mustangs and did their 501c just like I did this. So this just happened by accident. And I just think every travel ball needs a mission. And ours is chase development. Don't chase offers. And I think that's what's missing in travel ball right now. This is our first actually graduating class. We could say last year, but they were new guys, so they didn't spend as much time with us. So this is our first graduating class, and we lost a few, but they've gotten some good stuff. Like EJ is gone. He played with us since like 6th, 7th grade. We used to take our lumps. I mean, we went through it. We had 2 teams combined, 5th and 6th grade, and they just kept growing. JoJo Scott, who's moved on to football, he has a bunch of D1 offers. Those guys spent a lot of time until this year with us. Toby Lane, departed over there to BTI, Tucker Fox, all those guys, man, we're definitely part of this growth process, man. Man, the list goes on. But this year will be special because it's really our first graduating class. I mean, we all know that in 8th grade, LJ played with us, and we know how that went. He left and went to one family. He had to. And we encourage kids to go to those elite teams. Don't get that twisted by we're not an elite team. We are a developmental team that can help you get to the elite team, and a lot of these guys are moving on, and I'm okay with it. I think the problem I have with travel ball right now, and Eric can agree with me, probably Coach Jones, is everyone thinks they're an elite team. And that's not true. Am I correct in saying that, coaches?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Elite team isn't this next circuit. It's not this gold on Adidas. And no, there's one true elite thing, and that's EYBL. There's nothing watered down about EYBL. You can play or you can't. Those other ones are good. Don't Don't quote me because everybody be mad, but really I don't care if you know me. But they're different, like the next level and all that. That's all cool to dangle that out there for the kids. But if you're still paying, you know, you're not elite. Elite is when you get shoes, all your travels paid for, your mom and dad is invited to everything, and sometimes they pay for them. So a lot of teams snub T-Mac, they snub the Spartans because they think they're elite, but they're going to play for the same thing we're playing. Today, I just got off the road playing the Rebel tournament, one of the best tournaments I played in the last 3 years. Everybody was there that was supposed to be elite, then and their next teams were losing to regular teams like the Spartans, the T-Macs of the world. I know I'm saying a lot, but it's been on my mind. It's been on my heart because people been being tricked, and I don't like it. So that's just me. But I appreciate you guys having me on because I've been wanting to say this shit. I mean, this stuff for a long time.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Coach, man, you jumped on here like Cat Williams, man.
Hey, Cat, get along.
First off, I got some stuff to say, Coach. You just started firing them off, but hey.
Damn, boy, knocking them down, boy. Hey, Coach, he really showed his age with that Lakeland Mustang. My daughter played with Coach Grady almost 20 years ago. My daughter played with Coach Grady with the Lakeland Mustang. So yeah, he just about to hit them 70s marks, ain't it, Coach?
Man, hey man, see, I can say something about that, E, but I'm cool. Yeah, I'm 70.
Hey, go out, Coach Jones, man. Appreciate you tapping in, man, and appreciate all the work that you do. While we giving out flowers, man, you've been a staple in Polk County basketball, travel ball, men's league. You're synonymous with the East Polk County, Haines City area, man. You're doing a great job building up Davenport High School. So anything you want to tap in as an introduction. I know Coach Grady just kind of went, he got right to it, but we kind of just trying to give you a chance to say anything you want to say.
Hey, Coach Jones. Hey, Coach Barnes, I ain't really like Cat Williams. I'm close to the little Boosie.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
All right, man.
Go Elbow. What's going on with you, boss?
Nothing much, man. I'm just glad to be in the building. We appreciate you inviting us, out to speak on your platform. It's a tremendous opportunity. It's great stuff, and I'm just happy to be involved. Been doing this for a while now, and the mission has not changed. It's pretty much the same, man. It's just try to give back to these communities, these surrounding areas, these kids. We know it's levels to everything, and I love what Coach Grady was just saying when he kind of spoke on. People being tricked and they think they're really, really elite and things of that nature. It's levels to everything. So we understand where we are as coaches. I think I can speak for the other coaches when we say that. We know we're not a shoe program type organization. I've been helping out T-Mac this particular season that passed by. I've been working with Taylor athletes for the last 12 years or so. So we know we middle of the road and things of that nature. But like I said earlier, it's levels to this, and we have kids on all levels that gets opportunities to do certain things. And we need, mentors and father figures and coaches and things of that nature at all levels to help them move forward to reach their goals in life.
So Coach Jones and Coach Robinson, you both coach high school basketball. So you got a unique perspective. You coach high school basketball, you coach travel basketball. There are a lot of high school coaches who are not really fans of travel ball because they feel like when their kids leave, when they come back different. They come back with bad habits. They come back with stuff that doesn't line up with what, you're trying to get done. You guys kind of got a different perspective because y'all are coaching a lot of your kids right now, but your whole team is not your kids. So speak on what's the biggest difference you see from high school basketball to travel ball for people that may not know. So y'all both can offer a unique perspective.
Coach, that's a great question because I feel like especially in our county, when you have high school coaches that are coaching doing travel ball, we have some good coaches right here in Polk County. And I'm not going to say that we all teach the same thing. The philosophy is not always the same, but we we have some really good coaches that a lot of times when kids go off and play for Tony Bradley or Spartans or tailored athletes, even the FTLs, like they're getting that same type of training, that same type of skill work. So you're not really worried about them when they come back to you. So that's really my whole issue. A lot of times with travel ball is like, it's all about let's go play some offense. Let's go see how many points we can score. And they're not really getting the groundwork of the defensive level, the defense, and so when they come back, you it's like reteaching them all over again. And even with Coach Antbo and myself this year, like there are some things that we do differently. It's been good for my kids because they get a chance to see how Coach Antbo, how he operates and how he does things. And then it's also good for his kids to kind of see how we do things over in Arbondale from the skill work, from the offensive philosophy, defensive philosophy. Like it's been really good. So like I said, I don't have any problems or any issues with any of our guys when they're going out and they're doing travel ball with the high school coaches that are here in our area, or any coaches that are around in the Central Florida area, because they do a really good job with their programs.
Okay, Coach, anything you want to add to it? Or he got it? Or?
Yeah, he said quite a bit there. That's normally how Mr. Robinson works. If I go second, I don't get a chance to say a whole lot. But you know how it is on TNT, like when they go to Charles Barkley and then Shaq last, Charles Barkley all the time, and then
Coach, I saw a thing today. It was like a podcast where Shaq was. They showed the clip where he was about to talk about he gonna swing on Chuck. I mean, 1, 2, 3. It ain't no 1, 2, 1. I'm dead serious on that. So we got to make sure you won, not Coach E won. Because if you're not one, there's really ain't nothing to say. That's what you're saying for the rest of the questions.
Yeah, let's just mix it up. I can have an opportunity.
Okay. And Coach Barnes, I give him about a half a second. He'll start talking. So I'm like, well, let me go ahead and get started. I don't want the show to run too long.
Yeah, we trying to get some stuff, some content in. I got you, Coach. Coach E. Go ahead, Coach Antbo. You got anything? I'm sorry.
No, I don't want to echo what he said. He said a mouthful just then. I enjoy working with the coaches in the area, the ones that I've worked with. Like I said, most of them do a great job. I don't have a lot of problems with kids going off and coming back with terrible habits. I think it could be good for the kids sometimes to go to another program sometimes and get a different voice. Sometimes they get some different teachings, different temperaments, things of that nature. I think that's good for the kids. So I have no problems with that. The things that I see from a fundamental standpoint that we might be missing, or different philosophies or things of that nature, as part of my job as a coach, to kind of teach those things and clean those things up. Let them know, hey, I know you might have did it this way over there, but here, this is the best for our program, and we're gonna do things in fashion. We're gonna move in this particular order. So, but it's good stuff, man. Like I said earlier, it's levels to everything, and as long as guys are getting opportunities, and I will say this also: sometimes leave your program, be in a situation where they don't get a lot of playing time, a lot of opportunity. They slide over to another program, and sometimes it boosts their confidence. And we all know that, hey, confidence is a huge deal when it comes to anything you're doing, sports related, really in life. You got to be confident, and you need to be aggressive. So good stuff.
Coach Grady, I want to ask you a question. You spoke earlier about elite team kids thinking they're elite and they're not elite. As a college coach, you got a kind of different perspective. So these kids are travel ball. Everybody wants to go play at the next level. At least they think they do, right? So that's why they're doing travel ball. So as a college coach, how does a high school coach have that conversation with a kid when they're not at the level that they're getting gassed up to think they are at? You being a college coach, you know what you're looking for, or what's going to translate to the next level. How can the high school coaches help the kids? Or are we in a situation where this society, you can't help them because that's just their mindset and nothing you can do to change it?
I think it's high school coaches are, for one, underpaid. Okay. So for them to have to make that evaluation on the kid is not fair to them. I suggest high school coaches bring them to college coaches. Tell them to go to elite camps. See, these kids don't understand. They think travel ball is the way, but there's a way through elite camps. If you get invited, you know you're there. They're going to tell you. You go there and you get down, you playing there for 2 days, college coach going to step to you. But if they don't, you should know where you're at. Yep. You know, it should be up to your high school coach, because let me tell you what happens. High school coach says, you NAI or you D2. Immediately, all they hear is D2 NAI. That's all they hear. They don't hear D3. They don't hear JUCO. All I would tell the kids is, I don't think you're D1, you know, but maybe with some work, a lot of work, you might get there. Listen, and all y'all coaches know, jokers, kids are like this and parents. Kids shoot a shot, he missed. They be like, I was open. You was open for a reason. Okay? You wide open for a reason, man.
For what kind of reason?
for a reason.
Oh, hey, it's hey, coach. We unscripted, coach. So you say how you feel. Say how you feel.
Man, I don't even know why y'all might be on here. Y'all might get cut off.
Man. Get it off your chest, coach. It's all good.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, everybody has this grandeur of who their kid is, and I'm not mad, because if your parents ain't behind you, who's gonna be? You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to put them in a realistic situation, and that's when it shows. I talk to parents all the time, and they say some good stuff, you know, kind of sound like coaches stuff. But if I put them on the board, I know you're a parent. Or there's going to be something you say at some point in our conversation that's going to bring you back to parent status with me. And I'm not mad at you, because I understand. So everybody's going to think their kid is this level until they're put on that level to perform. That's just how it works, man. And I would not do that to a high school coach. I would not. That is not fair.
It's a good take. Good take. So, Coach Ambo, we're going to go one to you first. What is your take on the state of travel basketball in Polk County?
Ooh, man, that's a meaty question. That's a meaty question.
You want to pass it and come back, or you good with it?
No, I was just going to say,
okay.
I think at the younger level, there's a lot of teams out there that's really putting kids to work, which is a positive, because it's giving kids opportunities and to get involved and get started early. The one thing that I do see, though, I don't see a lot of what I consider a lot of teaching and a lot of fundamental stuff. And I think that's what we're missing in this area as far as travel ball is concerned. I would like to see just more teaching, more fundamentals, things of that nature at the earlier age. The older guys, things seem to be a little inconsistent. I do see, some programs that are maintaining and doing things the right way. But I would say now I'm starting to hear this, which is interesting. Maybe a segue to another topic, but here's what I'm starting to hear a lot of in this area, that the Polk County area, we have a lot of talent that's, let's say, above average. But we have too many teams, and we won't work together, to put the kids in the proper paces they need to be, and quit allowing all of our talent to go boost other programs. I know you didn't ask this, Barnes, but I just want to kind of throw that out into the other coaches and see how do you guys feel about that? They feel like we have a lot of talent here in Polk County. We have some high-level players. We have Division I players. What is your thoughts on that, far as keeping some of our talent in Polk County and building some bigger, stronger Polk County teams? How do you guys feel about that?
Don't rub your eyes now, E. Don't rub
Well,
your
I
eyes
mean,
now. Say it,
I
E.
tell you, I'm one that I don't mind, like, if there was one team that was the one organization that was the top team and the top players need to go play on that team, and then there's another organization that might take the so-called B players and you're gonna go play at a certain level. I am totally okay with that. But the big problem, and we see it on a yearly basis, is you might have certain organizations that, I mean, they coach high school, and we getting all the best players in the county on one certain particular team, and then now Coach E or Coach Antbo or whoever, I'm in trouble because now the kid, I can't call him my kid. Now the kid that played for me last year, he ain't playing for me next year because he gonna transfer to whatever school there is. So it's hard when you trying to have a certain levels of travel ball, and then you trying to build your high school organization, your high school teams at the same time, because that's the only reason I'm in it for. I'm trying to develop my kids. I'm trying to develop my high school team, and then to take it a step farther with these kids that think that they might be high level. When we play in these tournaments, when we schedule these tournaments, we're not scheduling anything to go win a trophy. That's not what we're in it for. We're trying to schedule tournaments to develop them, but also make these kids that think they're high level. If we can go and play in a Rebels tournament, or if we can go and play in an On the Radar tournament in July, we not only want to see those high level players, we want our kids to maybe get an opportunity to play them so they see how much work they need to put in. Or so we let them see what they are not, because it happens that way. Like, anytime we get a chance to play on the radar, we might even go to hoop scenes or something like that. When I'm scheduling these tournaments, I'm writing the director, like, if there's any possible chance for us to play one of the top teams in the country, yeah, we might get beat by 40 or 50. We might, but I might have a kid that shoot 5 for 6 from the 3-point line, and he draws some attention from somebody. That's what we want. So that's really kind of how I look at it when it comes to that. I mean, it's and we need that backing. We need that backing from some of the big time people that have been here at this level before. We need that backing so we can create those teams that we're talking about. And that's really one of the hardest parts, just being able to create those organizations, those programs that we might call the top level teams, so we can build those teams.
Is it a grown up issue or a kid or a parent issue?
You don't want me to answer that.
No, we want you to answer.
Oof.
Yeah,
okay.
You say all coaches, so you on here, so you.
All right, so here we go. In Polk County, okay, I'm gonna just call out people like the Fire got a great mission because they built toughness. They at a young age, right? Yep. FTL has a great mission, okay, because he tries to involve all the kids. He tries to get them to see things that they've never seen before. He travels them, man. That's incredible. T-Mac has a great mission, but it's a different one. Because he wants to keep his kids close, okay? Tony Bradley has a great mission because they got an NBA guy backing them. If those organizations with the Spartans and everybody, we keep parents out, there ain't no daddies. So, okay, quick example. My son played for Florida Pro last year, okay, down in South Florida. He put 3 dudes in the first 10 draft picks last year, and he won't go any circuit. But guess he got rules, and they build off of that. Like, no dads can coach. You got to have certain things. No relationship can coach kids, okay? But guess what? They don't talk to parents. They just like college. If we put all of our visions together and really came to it, we could do it and have one organization and explain everything. I mean, and I know Eric, he may disagree on them, but we got structure at the Spartans. We got a board of directors. We do what we do.
No, Coach, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
We got a 501c. We're going to make it happen. Ain't nobody going to get put in jail. I'm vetting everybody. Okay? because my name can't be out there on no garbage. It just can't. Okay, and all those organizations have a great vision, but nobody wants to get together. So it's an adult. To go back to your question, it's an adult problem. And see me, why people they have a problem coming to Spartans? Like I don't deal with adult stuff. Like I'm the only joker in the gym that's gonna question, a ref or another parent or something. I try to keep my parents away from that. And those come is when you play with tournaments. What Coach Eric said with trophies. Think about all the fights y'all have seen with parents because a dang trophy. A trophy. Let me tell you something. I have never recruited a kid in college or none of my colleagues, boys or girls, based on how many trophies somebody won in AAU. Or I could care less. Can you play the game the right way? It's an adult problem at the end of the day because adults drive the kids. So you probably never gonna have me back on here no more because everybody will be mad, but don't care.
So sometimes it needs to be said, and that's why we're having this conversation, because we have so many different ways we're going, and if all of us are in the kid business and we're trying to help kids, then it should be some common ground. But if we don't ask the questions and we don't talk about it, how we gonna know? So that's a great question, Coach Elbo. You ain't got no problem at all with your answer, because that's part of the discussion. Is like, it seems like there is some division when it should it be. If we all got the same, if we're all in it for the same reason, should it be division? Now, it can be healthy competition. If I line up against you, I'm trying to beat you, but not to the point where if I can help you, I'm not going to help you when you're helping.
And me and E go to terms, Coach Jones, we see each other. Man, we ain't like that. Ain't no reason for us to be like that. We over there cheering for them. They looking at us. So what you get to, see, here's where the problem comes secondly. After that, these kids aren't taught to compete. Everybody want to start. Everybody want minutes because they paid a little money.
Yep.
Man, listen, their life is built on everything quick. Listen to everything they got. Instagram. What's that mean? Instant gratification. Right? Everything they have is quick. Nobody works. You got to learn to work. These kids, and this is a kid problem, but it stems from the adults. Man, you got to have this. You got development first, and the other things will come second. Or was it meant for you to do that? You was open for a reason.
Yeah, and Coach, you mentioned. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach. You mentioned. I was just gonna say, Coach, you mentioned development, and a lot of problem with travel ball is a lot of kids just want to play, but they're not developed. Some kids might not need travel ball. They might need a summer full of training, like finding a good trainer and pay a trainer to get you to where you need to be at. It's not just rolling the ball out on the court and going and playing basketball games that's going to get you better, because that's not it. And like I say, we're not going to play on every weekend and playing 10, 12 games on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're not doing that. We're not in it for that. We're not trying to be out playing every weekend. I know I can't, because they already be cutting the fool in the house sometime about a brother being gone. You know what I'm saying? So like, you just have to be able to get yourself in that situation, get yourself in that position where you are able to compete. And sometimes it might not be playing travel ball. It might be taking that time off to develop your skills in order to get to that position.
And see, there's a level, like you guys said, the travel ball. If we all had one organization, you could have some kids playing Super Six and Dynasty to build up their confidence, right? Yep. Dynasty Hoop, Super Six. That's the lower level kids that's just really going. Then your higher level would be a team that's an EYBL or a circuit team. Then your next level is, what do we play, Eric? What is your boy's name up there that you just named?
Prep Hoops and On the Radar.
Prep Hoops is like a D2 type kid program. On the Radar is like a D1, D2. You see what I'm saying? You could build an organization, one organization, but everybody's not going to want to listen. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier. You like you said, you might hurt a couple feelings with it, but I tend to agree with you. It's normally an adult situation. What do the old folks say? too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. You got a lot of people that want to call the shots, and they don't want to follow anybody. Everybody talks a good game.
Yep.
But it start the time to put it to action. Okay, well, I'm gonna be the third assistant. I mean, what is that about? I want my own program, or I want to do this.
There it is.
How we gonna get it done, man? I would like to see some more unity and some more trust being built. But those conversations need to be had. I agree.
Do you think that? Do you think that a Polk County league type, like a summer league type deal? Do you think like? And we asked this a couple weeks ago on the show, but like a Polk County league, like a summer league, like the travel ball teams, like on a Saturday, say one Saturday the games are at Victory, one Saturday at Arbondale, one Saturday at Davenport. This is like not when it's like, you know, you're going on the road, like it's a if it's on the radar hoop scene or circuit type tournament, but like it's like a period where nothing's going on. So those kids can get, like you're saying, the development by playing the games, you know, where it's not like high stakes, you know, you playing this competition, but you getting the games, you getting the work in. Can we ever get to a point where we can have a Polk County league that will help with the development, so when we go on the road, we can kind of perform better, maybe because we've had that development that you all three of you guys are talking about that we're lacking? Do you think we can never get on the same page where we can, with all the teams that are having teams at the high school level, because that's what we're primarily talking about?
Coach, I think we might be able to do something like that if it's so. Say for instance, if it was kind of like summer league, where you maybe did a couple days during the week, like a Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. Like, you know, we practice on a Wednesday or Wednesday, Friday if we have a tournament. But like if it was something during the week, so like if you had two facilities where you were playing a 5, 6, 7 o'clock game, something like that, and we were able, you know, because teams are still going to want to go out on the weekend, get your kids together, bond a little bit. So I think we could do something like that and do a league if we were able to play, you know, a couple days during the week.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Then at the end of the year, you can have like a tournament, like a Polk County champion, a Polk County travel balls, something, because like you all say, it's like we missing something, and it shouldn't be. If everybody's in for the kids, then we shouldn't all be missing it. I don't, maybe, you know, maybe I'm delusional with it. Maybe I'm, you know, kind of utopic, Wakandian, like thinking that it could happen. But I do think that, to your point, Coach Grady, the grown-ups, we gotta, and I say it all the time, you know, it's a lot of ref transvets on the sidelines of Polk County. I say it all the time. And I'm just being real. I mean, you all know it, y'all in the business, so everybody's not thinking that way for whatever reason. But if we buy kids, it shouldn't be that complicated, but it really is that complicated. And it's kind of sad because at the end of the day, none of us are really winning because we're fighting, like Coach Edwards said, we fighting with each other. And
man, I done seen kids transfer because another kid's parent think their kid is better, or a kid transfer because their kid ain't getting enough shots. And here's the craziest thing that I hear, and I tell them this when they come in college. They always say, oh, they got their favorites. Coaches do have their favorites. But you know who my favorite is? The joker to do what I asked him to do.
Yes.
On a daily basis. That is my favorite. Mm-hmm. Now, I do have a favorite. The joker to do what I asked him to do on a daily basis or consistently. And, man, if you always keep making excuses for your kids, them is the same jokers who be living in your house when they're 45.
Wow.
I'm that guy. Yeah. I done raised. I got all kids. They're adults. And it ain't no excuses in my world.
So results. How do you all choose what tournaments you go to? How does that? What's that process? Because there's everybody doing a tournament nowadays. So how do you make that choice?
Ours is based on the year before how we performed. Ours is based on the year before, and if we think the personnel we got coming back can compete at that level.
Okay.
That's a simple formula we use.
Coach E, Coach Antmo, how do y'all choose where you take your kids at, your squads at?
See, Coach, I gave him a chance.
Well, I went.
Really know that you did, Coach. You paused, Coach. I saw it.
Well, Coach, we just want to be able to compete. We don't want to go and play in anything that's too easy. We want to be able to go and compete. And like I say, towards the end of the year, we also want to go out and play in events where we know the good guys are. Like every kid think they Division I, so they need to go see what Division I look like, Coach. Because if they never see it, they always gonna feel like they better than somebody. So we want them to see what that next level is like. If we get a chance to play in one of those gyms, one of those courts where everybody's at, if we're not even playing, we're gonna go to that gym to see where everybody's at. Because we just don't want to, nothing against any of the smaller organizations like a YBOA or anything like that, but like they're playing for trophies, Coach, and it's a lot of kids that are playing in those events that coaches, a lot of kids playing in events that don't play high school ball. So it means nothing to me or nothing to our kids. We don't get anything out of that if we're going to play in some of those tournaments. Like we just don't get anything out of it. We want our kids to get better, and if they're not playing at a higher level than that, then how are they going to help their high school team?
That makes sense.
Now, I don't have a problem with playing for trophies when you're below 7th grade. I really don't.
There's a place for that.
Yeah.
I just think I believe in balance, and there's a place for that. That's just like awards banquets, right? When you 5th grade, 6th grade, hey, come up, Johnny, participation award, excellent, you did a great job. As you get older, I tell kids, as you get older, that's not how the real world works. There's a reason why they have Employee of the Month. Everybody doesn't get that. You have to work for that. You have to earn that. And that's
Preach, Coach. Preach.
That's the same thing with these travel ball situations, man. There's balance. We try to compete. You want to push your kids. You want to get to a point where you're really pushing your kids. And then, like Coach Robinson and Coach Grady said, you want to try to get to some of those events where you get some better exposure, some true exposure. And you want those guys to compete against some of these guys that they see on the Instagrams and some of these places where they have these guys so highly ranked. And then some of our kids think that they put their pants on a little different than we put our pants on. No, go compete against these guys, and you'll find out that these people are human. Also, sometimes you'll go and play in some of these bigger events, and you'll find out that these guys are on a much higher level. But how do you do that? You got to get out and compete. You got to participate. So as a coach, I like to put them in these situations.
Give me that fire. See how they do.
Yep.
Coaching strategy, coaching chalk talk question for all three of y'all. So, do you coach travel ball from the sideline the same way you do high school ball? Like, for example, last night Alabama was playing UConn, and their two best players, in my opinion, anyway, the point guard and the stretch forward, Nelson and Sears, both got 2 fouls. And I was talking with another coach by text today about it, or last night, and the coach pulled him out for a couple minutes, but then he put him back in there with 2 fouls. It's been a long time since I coached, but the rule used to be you get 2 fouls, you sit for the half, no matter what. So the coach I spoke with offline, he was like, the analytics say now, because the game has become very analytical, that especially if it's your main guys, you play them with those 2 fouls. So to you all, if you on the circuit, if you're on travel ball, kid get 2 fouls, is it different than if you're at Davenport or Arbondale playing a district game and you gotta get 2 fouls? Do you coach it different? Coach Gray, the same thing with you. You coach it different, or you kind of coach it the same? Are we seeing a change of philosophy and strategy, or what's y'all take on that?
Well, I think it just depends on who you're playing. Now, yeah, we do play it the same way. You got 2 fouls, you come to sit down. But sometimes if you playing against a team that I know, if I sit, my 20-point a game kid, and I got my next high score is 5, 6 points a game, and I know that if I sit him these last 6 minutes of the quarter, I might have to give him a minute or two, and we got to get him back in there. Now, travel ball, it's about the same travel ball, mainly because the competition is really close. The level of competition within your team is really close. So you get 2 fouls, you're coming to sit down.
Okay.
Okay.
Either one of y'all.
All that what Coach said. I got all the analytics. I get all that from Synergy, okay, and a lot of different sources in college. So I can't say I do it the exact same way, but I try to think the same way, if that makes sense to you guys. So one thing I would do in college is look how many, like, when the ball stops or you got a media timeout, they give you a sheet and it tells you how many possessions you have offensively or defensively. Okay. And if I've had more offensive possessions, I'm leaving them in. And I'm changing my defense just a little bit to protect them. I put them on the weakest player on the court, and then I leave them in because I'm getting more offensive possessions. Now, if we're not playing well and they're getting more offensive possessions, they're probably coming out for a while and probably to the 130 mark. And then I still put them in with the last two because I don't want anybody getting a run on me for the last minute 30 usually.
Okay.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't. I like to say I can get as deep as Coach Morrell, but I will be just lying. So I have more of a Charles Barkley type response to that. I'm not real big on analytics, but I am a percentage coach. I try to play the percentages as much as possible, and I do believe in hiding players defensively sometimes when they get in foul trouble. But what I like to do the most is that's why earn your players as much as you can. I know with travel ball, we don't know them as well, but really, I just go back to a lot of times, how smart is that player? I mean, how does he play? Like if let's say for an example, sometimes I've coached kids where they've gotten 2 charges in the first quarter, right? And then I sit him a little bit. I know the second quarter, he's going to come in and he's going to be overly aggressive and he's going to drive to the basket. So in that particular case, I sit the kid. So I think a lot of times it has to do with how well do you know that particular kid, his tendencies, his temperament, you know what I'm saying, his character. Is he coachable? There's a lot of that goes into place when things like that comes into place. I really like to lean towards just how much I know about that player and how smart he is.
Okay. So we know that kids are chasing offers, right? So travel ball is a big deal, right? Kids want to play travel ball and they feel like that's where the coach is at, that's where they don't get offers at. So is travel ball good or bad for high school basketball? And on a global scale. We can say Polk County, we can say state, we can say globally. You guys got plenty experienced veterans in all levels. Do you feel like the current state of travel ball is good or bad for the current game of high school basketball? Nobody wants to pick that.
Okay, I go ahead here. I go making people mad again. Yeah. No. There's some good to it. I like travel ball. If I'm looking at coaches like these two, I'm looking at on the screen. I don't like travel ball when I'm looking at a guy coaching his son, and he's taking 50 shots, bad shots, and the rest of the team just running up and down. If that makes sense to you guys, that's where I'm telling you, that's where travel ball gets bad. When we get to daddy ball or we get to parent ball on the sidelines coaching from the side, because you see not the right ball movement. You don't see proper defense. You don't even see defensive strategies. Just stay in front of your man, reach, slap, man. But if I'm going to recruit a kid, to be honest with you, I'm going to go to his high school coach on the girl side. And I'd be the same if I was on the boy side, like I used to be doing stuff. I would talk to their high school coach because travel ball character isn't totally revealed. Everybody know coaches are out there, so they act a certain way. I would much rather see a kid on a high school game when he's not surrounded by a bunch of talent and see what you got now. What you got now when you got to be the number one option.
Okay.
I'll say this before Mr. Robinson jumps in. I kind of liken travel ball to the internet and social media. There's great components in both of those. There's also that dark web or those dark things that we see. A lot of times it goes back to, what are the adults doing? Are we holding the kids accountable? Or are we teaching structure? Are we teaching discipline? Are we holding them accountable and things of that nature? So I think there's a great deal. There's a lot of good to be said about travel ball at this point in time. And like I say, it is some negative things also. I'm a bit optimistic on the optimistic side. But I think there's a little bit more good than bad. But again, there's stages to everything. There's balance. And I think overall, there's a bit of selfishness. Now we can't not talk about that. We do have where a lot of these kids are really focused on themselves a lot, but then it goes back to the adults. I mean, what kind of teaching are we doing? Who are the guys in charge? Are we tempering these things? Are we holding them accountable? Are we showing them the good and the bad, or the wins and the whys, and what the college coaches are really looking for? Things of that nature. So overall, I still say it's a blessing and it's a good thing to have travel ball.
Okay. All right. So last thing, appreciate y'all giving me your time. Want to give you a chance to talk about any last words. Want to give you a chance to kind of let folks know where you're going to be playing at, how they can follow you, how they can support you if they want to support you. And then the last question I want to ask you is who you got tomorrow night and why, Purdue or UConn? So y'all can speak out what order you want to go with. Great conversation. Appreciate y'all tapping in and being.
Go ahead, old head. Go ahead.
Hey, man, why? I'm letting you be Pretty Ricky today. That's what they call him. Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna be playing on the radar. And a hoop scene. Those are our best ones. And we're playing in all the live periods because we got something to prove. We got a lot of 16, U15, 16 to 17s that, that they can show some stuff and they'll be all right. We're in the Villages next week, which should be a tough one. And then it really gets going. We played in a kind of garbage thing last week, but it was a good warm-up. But this weekend was tough, and we're trying to keep it there. And I got UConn tomorrow night because they match Zach Edey's size, okay? And I just think UConn's guard play is better as a whole. Now, Purdue can shoot it, but UConn's length is going to make those easy shots and drives to the bucket for Purdue a lot harder, I think. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yep.
Yeah, next weekend. We'll be in a Source Hoops event at the Big House. It's kind of torn between the Source Hoops event and the one that's at the Villages next weekend. Been rocking with Corey Rollins with Source Hoops for a while now, and he reaches out to me all the time. So he really just reached out to me this week before I wrote that check for the Villages. So we're gonna go ahead and hit Source Hoops. There's also some other things going on. We will miss the first live period in May because it's our graduation weekend, and I try to be there as much for my seniors as I can. So I'll be out at graduation that weekend. But we'll hit another Source Hoops event in Miami the first weekend in July, and then we'll be at the live period in the first live on the radar, and then I think there's another one after that in Gainesville, or it might even be the Villages. So I'll send you our schedule on that as well, Coach. But if folks are interested in seeing anything on us, we are on Instagram with Team T-Mac, so we do post our schedule and stuff like that on there. And I have been UConn has not really been my team. I don't really follow them, but I selected UConn last year after they won the national championship last year. So I've been rocking with them to win it again ever since last year.
Okay. Coach Jones.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was having technical difficulties, but I'm working with Coach Robinson this year, so he's just explained all of the events as far as where we're going to be at, things of that nature. So I'll just speak on the game. I'm with UConn. I agree with what Coach Grady said. Coach Hurley is doing an unbelievable job, in my opinion. He's just doing an unbelievable job of getting his guys prepared. Offensively and defensively. They have all the pieces. They have the length, they have shooters, they have ball handlers, and nobody's even talking about their defense. Now they get after you defensively. They're really one of the few teams that I've seen this year. I just don't see a whole lot of weakness. When I watch them, I don't see a whole lot of drop off. They play for 40 minutes or how many ever minutes they play. And I thought Clark Kellogg said something really awesome about him a few weeks ago. He said, when you watch UConn play, they never drop down to the opponent's level. Everybody they play have to raise their game to play on their level. And they're the best team in America. He said they're the best team in America for making an 8-point lead jump to a 20-point lead. There's no other team in America that can do it as efficient as they can. I have UConn. We have a little pool play bracket that we do every year, and I pick UConn to win it, like most people.
Coach, one thing I wanted y'all to leave the people with, kids, grown-ups, regardless, is y'all all well respected. Y'all all preach it, doing it the right way. That's why I reached out. I don't reach out to just random people. We reach out to people that we know gonna give good information, So I saw, I don't know, y'all probably saw it with Deion Sanders kind of, and I know it's football, but it can relate to basketball, where he kind of put this thing on the screen the other day where one of the professors sent him a message about his kids cutting up in class. And he went off. I don't know if y'all saw it or not. I'll put it.
I saw it, Coach.
Yeah. So our kids sometimes forget that student comes before athlete. So as high school coaches, college coaches, travel ball coaches, what's one bit of advice that you all could give to the student athletes as far as playing these games in the classroom that in some point could negatively impact you on the court? You all can just leave some, if you want to. If you don't want to touch it, that's fine. Just leave some type of words of advice, encouragement, keeping it real, whatever you want to say. Because I know we say it, but no matter how, you can't hear it enough. And hearing it from Coach Grady, hearing it from Coach Eric, hearing it from Coach Antbo could be different than hearing it from me or PG or the coach, because they may not rock with us the same way they rock with y'all. So we don't care how they get the information or the message. We just want them to get the information or the message. So if you got any type of advice because this is the danger zone, because you messed around and don't handle your business these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
For the whole first semester next year. And these kids, these jits don't always see that. They, it's prom season, end of the year, spring break done passed, we just cruising. And then you come back and that GPA or that transcript don't look the way it needs to look. And then y'all as coaches, y'all handcuffed, because if you ain't eligible on day one, y'all gonna get them to the end of the season pretty much, because the semester ain't over with till last week of January or first week of January. So you done lost half of your season with the kids you might be depending on. So any final words y'all want to give in that regards to our prospective student athletes?
Pretty Ricky, go ahead.
Well, Coach, I'll say this, and it might be more so to our coaches than the kids, but an extension to our kids. As coaches, we will be doing our kids a disservice if we don't put their education, their discipline, their behavior on the forefront. We cannot make winning the most important factor of these young folks' lives by allowing them to cut up in school, barely get by. And I will say that for me personally, it has been an absolute blessing for me to be on campus every day with my young men and being able to see them, being able to know that if something happened in their class, they gonna run to me before I get that email to try to explain. And 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 it's for one reason, because they know that if they cut up in school, it's not gonna be no playing games on Thursday night or Tuesday night, or it's not gonna be no starting or whatever the case may be. There's always gotta be some type of punishment in order to get what we're trying to get across to these young people, because my main thing to them is the real world. When you walk across that field and you get that diploma and you step out into the real world, there won't be no more slapping on the wrist when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So it's our job as coaches to try to prepare them for that. And we're doing them a disservice if we make winning that important and allow them to mess up as young people. We can't do that. And if we're in this for the right reason.
And I 100. We'll let the old head go last because you might have to cut him off abruptly with profanity. So I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Yep.
You might have to hit the screen on the bars, but I second what Coach Robinson is saying. Anybody that's seen me coach over the years, know I believe in accountability. That I am so huge on accountability. We have to hold them accountable in the classroom and outside of the classroom, on the court and off the court. Instant accountability. And that's going to be one of the best teachers or the best teaching tools that we can use to help mold these men. Because just like Coach Robinson just said, let's be honest. Let's just be real about it. If you're not super, super talented, you don't get many chances, man. And life ain't fair. You hear guys say something like, it's not fair. That's how life works. When I look on TV and I see Antonio Brown and some of these NFL players and basketball players cutting up, it's because they have a lot of talent. But soon as that talent kind of run out a little bit, you bet your bottom dollar those people are going to quit dealing with you. So we need to hold these kids accountable as much as we can and teach them about competing, character, grades, and things of that nature. The more we do that, the better off we'll be as far as our service to our communities and the kids abroad.
Oh boy, you done came to me. Hey, Coach, my profanity, because I'm a cussing Christian. God's still working with me on that.
Hey, do your thing.
Be who you are, Coach. Be who you are, Coach.
Damn all the stuff y'all doing outside the classroom. I'm telling y'all that right now. And I'm telling you, man, when I'm looking at kids, that's one of the main things. I can tell if a kid get good grades by how they carry themselves on the court. Believe it or not, I've been doing this long enough. I can tell. And y'all, kudos to y'all, because y'all all educators, man. I can't do it. I've thought about it. I worked in a kids jail when I was in Ohio and got fired for kids because these kids, man, they different, man. They different, and I appreciate y'all, And I really appreciate the parents out there that's holding these kids accountable. We keep talking about the bad things. There's some great parents out there because I've seen a lot of kids with good grades, more than I would even imagine, man. And just a couple things. Now I'm gonna wrap it up. One is we recruit parents too in college. I'm gonna let everybody know that we recruit parents. So if you over there acting up and a college coach is in there, you could be messing up your kid's chance. Because I'm telling you, even if they super, super talented, sometimes some people want to deal with that. And grades are everything. Because if you're not a D1 kid and you end up D2 or D3, they got to look at your grades to stack your scholarship.
Good point.
Okay? You got to have good grades. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. And one thing about these kids, they don't understand. When you get in college, your college coach, if you get good grades and you do all the right things, they're your first reference when you go for a job. I tell my kids all the time, There's 2 references you can get from me. When they start acting the ass as seniors and stuff, I say you can get the Google one. Good person, nice guy, nice girl, did all things, mostly what I asked them to do. That's the Google one. Or you can get the Raven one that says, man, Barnes was the greatest kid ever. You should hire him now. If I had a chance, I'd hire him today. There's nothing bad about the kid. He's phenomenal. He was the leader of my team. So you kids, you control your outcome. It ain't the coaches.
Wow.
It's you.
Wow.
All right. So
it's a perfect way to ball it up, man. Hey, I appreciate Coach Grady, Coach Eric, Coach Antbo for tapping in, man. Y'all, I just felt like it was a conversation that needed to be had. We're going to replay this. Hopefully people will tap in and hear it with their ears and not with their heart. Because, when you start hearing with your heart, all that other stuff get in the way. And if you try to do it for the right reason, it shouldn't. If we all saying that's what we in the kid business, we trying to help these kids be the best they can. Y'all know that's the whole reason why we do Polk Hoops. Whether we get flack, whether we get criticism, we trying to help kids. And so we'll stand on it. I'm always standing on it. Y'all know me, and I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, I didn't reach out to nobody that I didn't respect, that I didn't feel like would give good content and be real, because at the end of the day, that's what our kids, they don't need to be fluffed up. They need to hear it real, because it's like y'all say, it's going to be real in a minute for them. So we need to prepare them for whatever that next level, that next step going to look like. So thank y'all for all y'all do, man, during the season, out of season, man. Thank y'all for y'all families giving us a couple minutes of your time tonight. I know it's Sunday night. I know it's, you're getting ready for the week. So thank y'all. Tell the missus that we appreciate it, man. We don't take it for granted. So y'all always welcome, man. But thank y'all. We're going to let y'all go. But thank you for your conversation and for your insight, man. Coach Rob and Coach Antbo with Team T-Mac, Coach Grady with Lakeland Spartans. Y'all, please check them out. Y'all support them. They helping kids, and that's what we all about. So thank y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Have a good
one. Thank you.
Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Coach.
All right. All right. That was good commentary. And we transition, because that's what we do. We transition in and out. Got Coach back in the studio. So Coach, we got programming alerts. We're gonna let folks know that this week we're gonna be posting our class rankings each day. We'll post one per day. We'll go with 27 on to 24. Then we'll do the overall top 15. We'll do the award winners on Saturday. So good conversation, Coach. Good conversation. So we also going to start with the Polk 10-year April Madness bracket play starting tomorrow. We're going to post those. It is totally fan driven. You guys will vote. You'll decide who move on. We'll go with 1, 16, 8, 9 starting tomorrow and kind of go through each day. So hopefully you all will tap in with that. Coach, do you want to right now let folks know what we kind of working on before we jump off with possibly later on, or since we still in the planning stage, we want to wait before we talk about it? So,
no, we can basically just let them know things to come from Polk Hoops. People have been asking us to do certain things for a while. Nothing comes without being strategic in everything that we do. Right now, we're in conversation and having a coaching clinic, and we're gonna partner that with basically a fall shootout. So we had a coaching clinic in the morning and the fall shootout following. We're also planning my crying towel, and we're looking at making that a weekend too. But that's just what we're working on right now. So please be looking out for announcements, but we also need y'all support to help promote these events.
Because all we're trying to do is we're trying to grow the platform. We feel like we're the number one source, not just for basketball in Polk County, but we feel like we're the number one source in the state. And so we appreciate all the support y'all have given us, and we just feel like we got an opportunity to expand and to do even more. And when you are given that ability, when God bless you with it, in my opinion, you kind of doing a disservice if you don't maximize it. So we're gonna do the best that we can. good, bad, how people feel indifferent, but we thankful and we grateful to be able to kind of help, from where we stand in that, Coach. So before we get off, Coach, I know I ain't asked you this in a long time. What's one thing? Well, I'll ask you first because you want to know Purdue or UConn tomorrow night and why?
Coach, I got UConn tomorrow night, only because I think they got the coaching edge. You and I and Toomer had talked off the air before. UConn preparation is unheralded. What I don't think Coach Hurley gets enough credit for his preparation with his teams. I'm seeing all the time the drills and everything, the attention to detail that he does. I praise him in his offensive sets that he's run. He has over 40. And every time I look on the internet, they're showing a different set. It's one thing me and Coach McGriff was talking about the other day. But I think they got the coaching edge. I think their guard play is stronger, like one of the coaches said earlier. And just that confidence of being a national champion from last year, I think is going to carry over.
They just like they came out of nowhere, Coach. Like, cause even like they team, is any one of them kids on their team a household name?
No,
but as a team,
not even a big kid,
not even a big kid, Coach. But as a team, they've been dominating all year long. So I like UConn too, and I'm very intrigued in the big guy matchup. Cause when the last time we had 2 7-footers go at it? In college?
National championship.
Coach, this gonna be so. I'm interested to see how that goes, but I do like UConn, like you say, as well. So, last thing, Coach, what's one thing you're gonna do this week, personal, professional, to be better? I know I haven't asked a question in a while. What's one thing that you want to work on? What's one goal you got for you? I say it that way. What's one goal you got for yourself this week?
One goal I got for myself.
I got 20 of them, but just one that you can share about. I know. I'll go first.
Go ahead and go first.
I know I hit you with that one in a while. Coach, I just want to positively, I just want to be 1% better than I was last week. And I don't want to take anything or anybody for granted, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like we're in a day and age where people take stuff for granted, like it's supposed to happen or it's supposed to be there. Like you, Coach, people take for granted that your brother got put into the Hall of Fame last night. As well deserved as it was, it took some time for it to happen, right? So nothing just happens. There was some work that had to happen. There was some calls had to make. There was some conversations, some meetings. So nothing just happens, but sometimes we just see the end result and be like, oh, that just – because he should have been in the Hall of Fame. Well, he should have been, but he wasn't. So I'm just saying I'm working on not taking nothing for granted. And so I just want to make sure I'm at least 1% better. I'm not trying to solve cancer tomorrow, but I'm just trying to be 1% better. And I'm just so grateful for like everything, Coach. So for my goal this week is just to make sure that I appreciate and don't take for granted what so Coach, congrats to Coach Hagan's making history over at Winter Haven with the track team, first annual, what it was, Blue Devil Invitational. I know that's track, but we give flowers to everybody, especially people that rock with us, and helping kids. So congrats on Coach on your successful event yesterday or this past weekend. But anyway, Coach, back to you. I don't know if you have enough time. I gave you a little
flow. I'm kind of on the same lines as you, and I was thinking the 1% better, but mine is going to be from an educator standpoint. I'm an administrator. State testing is coming up here in a couple of weeks. They just had writing last week. And the thing is that I'm not in the classroom every day making the magic happen. But what I can do and what I try to do on a daily basis is empower my teachers and my team that I work with. And so what I'm going to focus on this week is empowering them, which should in turn power the kids inside the classroom and getting them prepared for their tests in a couple of weeks. I've had ups and downs as far as education goes. Especially being a minority, administrator, a lot of people look at us as just disciplinarians, and that's just not the case. We are educators. We are instructional driven, especially this day and age with the accountability that's going on. At Davenport, we was able to raise our grade to a C last year, and our goal this year is to be a B, coach. And I think we're well on our way. We got some other goals in mind that we're trying to accomplish. But my thing is, coach, I want to empower others to be great because they have such an influence on our young people. So right now, I was looking today and what I'm going to do for my teachers during the appreciation week just to empower them. Coach Grady said that coaches are underpaid, and yes, they are. Educators are underpaid and undervalued for the hours and the work that they put in. But what I can do as an administrator is show you how much I appreciate you and what you do with our children inside the classroom.
And Coach, one thing, I don't care how old you get, is nothing like knowing that you're appreciated for the job that you're doing. So the fact that you're going to let your teachers know that you appreciate them is going to go a long way, because that, it's already a hard enough job being a teacher, being an educator, period, to have to deal with all the extra fluff and mess. So, I'm and the kids, I've never been a fan of standardized testing, but I understand you got to do it. I just feel like there's other ways you can test if a kid has learned and has made a year's worth of growth or whatever they're saying. I believe in stuff like portfolios. I believe in, for a kid to be a great student all year long, but then they get judged off of one test, it's not a true representation of that kid. That's my soapbox. I've never been a fan of standardized testing, but I understand that it is what it is. So you got to kind of play the game. You got to get your people ready. So shout out to you for that work. I know it's not easy. I'm glad they showed you some love last week. I saw they showed you some appreciation with your office and whatnot. So I know that had to feel good for you that your work does not go unnoticed, and they did it with a flair of, comedy, so they can kind of let you know that they paying attention to what you're doing too. So I'm sure that was a good deal. So I was happy to see that for you, because sometimes you forget. You just assume that, oh, that's Mr. Washington, or that's Coach Washington. Coach Washington every now and then need to know, look, man, we see you. We see you working hard. We see, what you're going through. We see what you're having to put up with, and we appreciate you fighting for us, So here it goes both ways. Everybody
Coach go a long way. I tell them all the time, I had to keep a parent, out your office today, or I had to keep a parent. We just try to stand in the gap, Coach. That's what we trying to stand in the gap for our teachers. We trying to stand in the gap for our kids. That's why I'm in this business.
That's why we're in the kid business, Coach. And that's why we rock with you, because we like-minded people. So if you ain't about kids, we can't. It's not really much we can talk about stuff, but when we start doing stuff like this, it's kind of we have to hit the pause button. Anyway, appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight, man. We had a good show. Appreciate Coach Robinson, Coach Jones, and Coach Morrell tapping in, man, giving us some good nuggets, some good gems, some good conversation. We hope that y'all was listening and y'all was paying attention, because those guys have been staples in this scene for a long time. So if you want to get some good direction, those are three guys that you want to kind of tap into. So good luck to y'all teams this weekend as y'all go travel. Anybody else that's traveling, good luck to y'all this weekend. And once again, we appreciate y'all here at Polk, man. Y'all be safe this week. Y'all be great this week, man. And keep pushing. Student athletes, man, don't get your foot off the gas. Don't let your foot off the gas. I know it's prom season. I know it's, springtime, but don't get your foot off the gas and let your work now negatively impact you and your squad in the fall, because decisions you make right now in the classroom will have effects later on. So y'all be great, man. Y'all be safe until next week. Next time, Polk, we out. Thank y'all for rocking with us.